want to use them, because otherwise it takes a long time to get these forces in place. You know, the president spoke, or DOD mentioned last week about sending the Marines out of the Pacific, and they're still en route, right? They were recently spotted off of Singapore. So it's going to take another week or so for them to get to the region. So you want to make sure you have those tools in place so that if you need to use them, want to use them, they're available.
Okay. All right, now let's go ahead and get to the next video. I mean, F it. I mean, let's have a little fun, because I'm about to grill Officer Tatum. Man, what this man said is wild as hell. But let's go ahead and get into Officer Tatum, because everybody's attacking John Kent for being a real one. I know some people disagree with them. Go like, why are you still like taking away blame from Trump? Well, bro, at least he resigned and actually put out the truth. So I gotta respect this. So shout out to John Kent, real ass American. All right, but let's get into it, because Officer Tatum calls Joe Kent a coward and a wuss. When I'm like, bro, Joe Kent did way more for America than you have. You've done a good amount. I'm be real with you. You was a police officer. You've been a great voice on the right. But watch your damn mouth, bro.
I think he's a coward, and he should be ashamed of himself.
If anyone is a coward, it's Talmud Tatum right here, okay? You bow down to the synagogue of Satan and call yourself a Christian. That is the most cowardly thing you can do. Cowardly.
It is. And his crazy thing is, you know what? I have not seen one Christian call out Benjamin Netanyahu for what he said about Jesus. This man literally insulted the teachings of Jesus and said, oh, well, you know, Jesus can't win a war. That ideology can't win a war. He's nothing compared to, I mean, what was it? Some type of group of people that were conquerors. But like, to insult, like, think about this, to be getting help from majority of Christians, basically from a Christian nation, and to insult Jesus like that, and none of these Christian conservatives call that out, it goes to show who really controls the right at this point. And it's sad. It's sad, but it goes to show who actually controls the right, because there's no way that y'all accepted that disrespect on Jesus' name and y'all just said, oh, well, you know, it's BB, so we just gotta, you know, look to the right about it. I see nothing, I hear nothing. You cowards. Y'all are the real cowards.
Spirit, cowardly in your soul, cowardly in the flesh, calling Joe Kent a coward. You know what? I pray that the veil of Moloch be pulled from your eyes.
Shout out to this guy.
Joe Kent's situation has spiraled out of control today, as all of the MAGA shield dipshits are rallying to the cause to, of course, push a dumb smear campaign claiming that cause.
Yeah, and it's so crazy. Laura Loomer's been going hard on Joe Kent. I mean, Ben Shapiro, he released the video and he has no room to talk. I mean, bro ain't put in no work, no service, no nothing. He's just a scrawny ass guy behind a desk who, if you slap one good time, you'd probably break his jaw. But that's outside the point. And then we got, you know, Talmud Tatum here, who literally said he went to Israel and he got spit on one time, just once, guys, just once. So it's not that big of a deal apparently to him. But yeah, and then, you know, no, but none of these. Here's the thing, you know, these two, they're Jewish, so it makes sense. It's all good with these two. That just makes sense. I can get over that. But bro is literally a whole American, a Christian American, and he allows the same like foreign leader that he's been like low-key simping for, shilling for, to disrespect his God. Insane. And then has the nerve to call somebody else a coward when you haven't even called out BB. Insane. The picking and choosing is crazy.
Course, push a dumb smear campaign claiming that Joe Kent, in his entire time as director of the National Counterterrorism Center, was leaking classified information to somebody, I guess. Yeah, because that makes sense. And you even have characters like the morbidly obese officer Bitch Tits Tatum, who've come out and said Joe Kent is a coward and a wussy. Oh, and also people like Ben Shapiro. Yes, tough guy Ben Shapiro, who have rallied to the cause to say the same. Yes, all of these MAGA theater kid dorks who've decided they're going to attack one of our nation's finest fucking military heroes. So that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Helps the channel. Follow us on Patreon. Grab some merch. Let's jump into this thing. Let's see what all these pathetic pussy hotel corner chair sitting cucks have to say today about Joe Kent. And of course, we're going to start with this sloppy mess. I mean, I cannot imagine the audacity of a guy who was a cop for 5 years and then had to quit the force because he was too overweight and couldn't do the job, coming out and calling Joe Kent an 11-tour combat veteran, Ranger, Green Beret.
Dang, you were too much of a coward to hop on the treadmill? Bro said you was too afraid to hop on the treadmill and risk your life out there for the community. He said your fat ass ran to the podcast chair. I'm like, ooh, that's a burn. I ain't gonna lie. That hurt me, and I ain't even him.
Task Force Orange, CI paramilitary, Gold Star husband, a coward, and a wussy.
I'll say, Joe Kent, thank you for your service, but you are a coward for what you did.
Well,
it ain't got nothing to do with Israel.
I mean, at least he said thank you for your service, but to say thank you for your service and call somebody a coward is crazy, because it takes a lot of courage to fight for this country. I ain't gonna lie. It takes a lot of courage, not only to sign up for the military, but to know damn well you about to get sent over to where the enemy's at. And this man has been more involved with the threats to America than Tatum Tatum here. So to call this man a courage when he's faced the dangers that you were too pussy to sign up for, and be real with you, since you're calling the man a coward, now I got to call you a pussy for not signing up for the military and going out there and risk your life. Because, hey, I respect our soldiers. I respect their sacrifice. So you ain't never going to catch me sit here and call a soldier a coward. I'll disagree with a soldier all damn day, but I'll never call that man a coward, especially if they're serving for my country.
Even care. I'm not Israeli. I don't care nothing about what you said about Israel. It's the fact that you walked out on your responsibility like a coward.
Oh, Officer Tatum, who's never served this country, is saying that Joe Kent walked out on his responsibilities to our country. Again, the 11-tour combat veteran, Gold Star husband, hasn't served the nation enough in this fat piece of
shit. Bro lost his wife to this shit. That's what makes me even more mad. I'm like, bro, he lost his wife to these Middle Eastern conflicts. Lost his wife, bro. And y'all want to sit here and low-key throw shame on that? Is like, well, shame on you, my friend. Like, it's despicable. That's why anybody who talking crazy about Joe Kent, I'm just like, well, hold on. He's literally the most qualified guy to speak on the threat of Iran. And he low-key lost his wife to this. He, like, bro, his kids are going without a mom because of these conflicts that was going on in the Middle East. And I believe she died in Syria, God rest her soul. So you tell me my man don't deserve no type of credit, no type of ear, seeing that he's like done the most and given the most?
Opinion. I don't know how delusional you can be as a man, especially as a man. Does Officer Tatum think he's a tough guy? As he sits here with bigger tits than most women, just an absolute sloppy mess. You should probably be wearing a bra, buddy. Talking about cowardice. You think you have any fucking idea what war is like? And Joe Kent deployed there 11 times. I don't think people really are.
And thing is, I've been shot before, and I had to imagine, bro. I could only imagine guys going through this every day. I got shot and went through straight gunfire, basically in a gunfight. One good time, and I'm like, oh, I gotta give it to the servicemen who literally go out there and do that shit willingly on a daily basis. I ain't go out the door wanting to get into a gunfight. These brave gentlemen and women do. So please, like, don't ever use coward next to their name.
Conceptually getting this of how insane that is for a veteran or a combat veteran. I know all the veterans watching this understand 11 tours to combat is fucking insane. There is no such thing as any man or woman who's done that. That is a coward, Tatum Tatum. And I love that he calls him a coward. So last night we were live streaming and I went and left a berating comment to old Tatum here, and live 10,000 people watched me leave it, and within a minute old tits Tatum had already deleted the comment. And then of course thousands of our viewers went and slapped him for the obvious disrespect to the veteran community. And
that's what I'm saying, bro. They're shilling so hard for Israel. You guys gotta understand what I'm saying here. They're shilling so hard for Israel that they're willing to disrespect servicemen. Like, that's how serious it's gotten. We got so-called Americans, bro, simping so hard, so goddamn hard for Israel that they're willing to disrespect servicemen, willing to call other Americans who are just trying to look out for the benefit of their country and their servicemen. And you're calling us an American for not wanting to get into this war. Do you see the level of propaganda that's being used here, where anybody who speaks out against Israel, anybody who speaks out against this war is all of a sudden un-American and a coward? Because they were saying that's all the guys who haven't served. Now we're going with a guy who literally served and has been in these wars, and now he's a coward too. I mean, does this not expose something at this point? Like, come on now.
He was deleting those comments faster than people could put them up. Yeah, that's what bravery looks like, buddy. Now, we know all of these people like Tatum and Shapiro are giant theater kid puppies. Everybody knows that. But let's take a look at what some veterans had to say about old Tatum's attacks.
So yesterday I posted about how Joe Kent submitted his letter of resignation to Donald Trump, that he cannot, in good conscience, support this war with Iran due to the fact that Iran posed no imminent threat to the United States, and we're doing this on behalf of Israel. And some people are getting confused on what imminent threat was. Yes, Iran was a threat, okay? But the difference between an imminent threat is something that's going to attack us now, okay? Yeah. Russia is a threat. China is a threat. Pakistan is a threat.
Thank you. Oh my God. I'm just like, bro, of course, every country's a threat. I mean, all of them got missiles, all of them got weapons. I mean, bro, every country that got a nuke's a threat. You never know if they wake up on a beautiful Sunday morning and just said, F it, man, we bombing America. You never know, right? So that could be an imminent threat. I don't know. The president of Pakistan could wake up and just decide, fuck it, I'm giving a nuke to Iran. There's another threat. I mean, so to just sit there and just say that, oh, confusing, let's confuse people by with, well, I would say saying a threat is an imminent threat, which is not. Iran posed no imminent threat to America. Okay, they were only going to attack if we attack them, and they've proven that twice with us.
North Korea, they're all threats. They're all threats with actual nuclear capabilities and conventional militaries. But why didn't we attack them? Oh, because Israel doesn't want to attack them. But of course, neocon.
Well, and some guys, North Korea got nukes, but those are threats, though. Those are definitely threats. But the problem is, like I said, you got a nuke and you could be whatever the hell you want to be: monarch, dictator, ruthless killer. Don't matter. You got nukes. We won't leave you alone.
And the Zionist cucks are coming out of the woodwork to bash Joe Kent. Let's read some of their messages.
I think Joe Kent is a coward. I think he's a coward, and he should be ashamed of himself.
If anyone is a coward, it's Talmud Tatum right here, okay? You bow down to the synagogue of Satan and call yourself a Christian. That is the most cowardly thing you can do. Cowardly of spirit, cowardly in your soul, cowardly in the flesh. Calling Joe Kent a coward. You know what? I pray that the veil of Moloch be pulled from your eyes.
Joe Kent, thank you for your service, but you are a coward for what you did.
Well, I respect the hell out of all police officers, even if you only did 3 years like Officer Tatum. But for one man to call another man a coward for following his conscience, no matter...
That's the thing. I would even use that language towards a police officer. It's just like, how could you use that against a police officer or a serviceman? Like, it's just outright disrespectful and ungrateful.
What the repercussions is freaking insane, especially if that man that you're calling a coward did 11 combat deployments and then lost his beloved wife to an IED. I could go on and on about the horrors of war, but there's only one word that describes it: ineffable. You can't describe how bad it is. So whether you agree or disagree with what Kent did, one thing he's not, Officer Tatum, is a freaking coward, homie.
All right, so that's what real men think about your sloppy chess. Also, let's get some other takes from the internet.
Joe Kent, by the way, is totally correct about this. This is a complete break from America First foreign policy. You broke your promise. You betrayed America first. Consequently, he's stepping down. And what does Trump say? Well, he was always bad on security. Really? Then why did you appoint him to be the director of counterterrorism if he was so bad on security?
Yes, and here's where the pathetic
Excellent
MAGA
point.
smear campaign burns in. Let's think about a few things, like Nick said there.
If they were investigating for a leak, I mean, all right, well, why'd you keep him in there even though he was being investigated? And hold on now, isn't that a leak on its own that you were investigating some, well, the head of counterterrorism? But all of a sudden now he puts out his resignation letter, talks about Israel, and oh, no, we were investigating him. He might go to jail. Just like Tucker Carlson speaking out against the war. Oh, Tucker Carlson's now talking to Iranian foreign nationals. He has to go to jail. It's like, you guys are crazy.
Yeah, so supposedly, according to Trump, Joe Kent's always been weak on security and then makes the conscious decision to put him in as the director of the National Counterterrorism Center. Does that make any sense? If that's true, if Donald Trump actually did that while thinking that about him, that would make Donald Trump the dumbest person on the planet. Oh, well. Maybe he does think that then. But my point is, obviously, that's total bullshit. Nobody's going to believe that. And now the new smear campaign that you're seeing all over the internet is that Joe Kent was leaked classified information for months. Huh. Let's logically and rationally break that theory down. Okay. So supposedly Joe's been leaking all of this information. A guy who served in Task Force Orange and the CIA, the two probably best intel apparatuses on the planet. He was leaking classified information. I
mean, literally, like we're talking about somebody who's kept secrets, bro, all of his military and CIA career, and they never have a leaking situation one time. If he was going to do it, he should have done it under the CIA, where he'd have got millions of dollars for it. He'd have been a traitor then for sure, but I mean, hey, at least under the CIA, if you're gonna leak something, you're gonna get paid.
You knew about it for 3 months and you just left him in his position with all
that too though. It's like, hold on, you left somebody who's leaking information in their position 3 months until you found something to be angry with him about. So I'm sorry, hold on here. So what, you're just like, imagine it's like you're working at a bank. You run a bank and you know one of the employees is stealing, but you don't want to fire them until they piss you off. It's like, wait, hold on, bro's stealing. You should have been fired. Well, look, man, he ain't pissed me off yet, so he's all good. Well, wait. It's like, okay, but please don't make it sound like he just this evil guy when you just want to fire him all of a sudden because he pissed you off. I mean, if he was stealing or leaking from the beginning, then why didn't you tackle it then? I'm sorry, but it just sounds retarded.
That access to intel to keep giving away? And you didn't do anything about it? You didn't fire him. You didn't remove him. You waited until after he resigned to all of a sudden tell people that that's what he's been up to? Right. Guys, MAGA, you have to try better than this. We all think you're fucking retarded at this point, and this type of shit is exactly why. You got to do
it. Bro, it's oh so convenient. It really is. How it worked out for Tucker, how it worked out for Joe Kent. I mean, now all of a sudden they work for Iran, they're anti-Semitic, so and they hate Jews. It's like, oh, how coincidental. Like, okay, I don't see a pattern, do you?
Better. I know you're flailing. I know all your channels are dead. I know it's brutal. You don't know what to do. You're a fish out of water, but you got to try harder. This isn't going to work. And it's not just Officer Twinkies Tatum that's doing this. It's all of the shills. Of course, Ben Shapiro was right behind on this. Of course, prepare for the dumbest take you've ever heard in your life.
Well, this morning, Joe Kent quit his job at the National Counterterrorism Center and issued a scathing letter designed to undermine President Trump. The letter is deeply, deeply conspiratorial. It states openly that, quote, Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation, and it is clear that we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby.
Duh.
Now, that is conspiracy trash. It's also kind of strange since President Trump has said that it's conspiracy trash. So apparently.
Oh, it's conspiracy trash because President Trump said so. All right, so let's take a pause. Everybody out there, and I really want for all the MAGA dipshits that are still lingering around the channel to actually listen to this and think about this. Use your brains a little bit. Who do you think has better access to information?
I do have a message to MAGA, bro, because like, I heard this from Odin Schroeder, and I loved when he said it. He said, remember what you stand for, not who you stand for. All right, guys, I'll say it again for you. Remember what you stand for and not who you stand for. Because if you just stand for Trump, well, guess what? I guess MAGA is turning into a cult because whatever Trump do, you just gonna co-sign? Like I said, there got to be at some point where we got to condemn Trump. I'm gonna be real with you. There will be no change. If Trump don't see any pressure and he see on CNN that he got 100% approval, he ain't going to stop doing what he's doing, even if we don't like it, even if it is hurting them. And honestly, I think Fox News low-key made that poll up to keep Trump going on this destructive path because, I mean, of course they would want that to happen. I mean, if you were the Democrats, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you want Trump to keep going and making his numbers worse and worse? The economy gets worse and worse so you guys can just dog him on when it comes to midterms. I mean, if you were a Democrat.
Understands all of this better. Joe Kent This guy with 11 combat tours, who served again as a Ranger, Green Beret, and Task Force Orange and CIA paramilitary, was also the director of the National Counterterrorism Center with access to more intelligence than any of us could ever imagine, who's come to that conclusion. Yep. Or Ben Shapiro, this guy who, again, has zero understanding of the Middle East, never even been there outside of going to our greatest ally, never served, never fought a war, no foreign policy or foreign conflict experience whatsoever, is absolutely fucking clueless on any of this. You get to make the decision. Who do you want to be ideologically aligned with? This guy or these retards? Seems like a pretty easy choice. Also, if you're a veteran and you are defending Talmud Tatum as he attacks someone like Joe Kent, you should probably look in the mirror and get your shit together. Now, you may think, Nate, why are you being so mean? Why are you being so rude to these dorks? Well, because again, these idiots decided to go on a smear campaign attacking a fellow Green Beret. So you've not only disrespected the veteran community, now you've disrespected the Green Beret community. And so we also have to ask ourselves, who's even watching these people at this point? Who's watching Talmud Tatum? Who's watching Ben Shapiro? And well, it turns out not very many people anymore. So here's Tatum's YouTube page. We should take a look. 4 million subscribers nearly. Oh my God, what do those view numbers look like? They must be massive. Like channels like Candace Owens or Tucker Carlson, he must be doing 500,000 to 1 million views a video, because that's what that subscriber number would definitely suggest. And
let's be real with you, because like, let's be real. A lot of MAGA done, I mean, except for me, thank God, except for me, then Loki just went along with this war because it's Trump. And I mean, that's wrong. We should sit there and we should be able to call out Trump when he made a bad decision. And this war was a bad decision. So for a lot of these guys in MAGA to just sit there in our face, and it'd be the biggest guys in MAGA to sit there in our face and be like, well, I guess you was never MAGA and I guess you're just an un-American wimp. I'm just like, bro, are you serious? So we're just going to pretend like Trump never said that. Like he never said no new wars, no new nation building. We're going to pretend like Tulsi Gabbard wasn't out there talking about you should get back in the JCPOA and not hop on a warpath with Iran. We're just going to pretend like none of that shit ever happened. I mean, okay, but y'all got it. I'm out if that's what we're doing.
Take a look. 57,000. Oh, and then we got the one he paid for here. 57, 69, 145, a little bit better. 80, 101. What? Those are pretty good numbers for a channel with about 100,000 subscribers. But Tatum, you've got 4 million subscribers.
No, not really.
What is happening? I'll put my YouTube channel up here so we can just compare side by sides of what those numbers really look like. So here's my channel just for comparison. Only 468,000 subscribers. So Tatum has about 9 times as many subscribers as me. So you would assume he's got about 9 times the views. Let's see on average. 200,000, 144, 269, 154, 344, 97, and 133. 193, 222, 181, 260. Wait a second. Tatum, you've got 10 times the subscribers as me, and I'm absolutely destroying you on views.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm gonna give you a little bit of secret to this. Like, bro, like 50K, it's like 50K views on like on one of your clips. Like what, a 15 to 30 minute clip, bro. 50K views, that's like $500 right there. So bro probably made like $2,000 to $3,000 per video right there in that setting right there. So shout out to my man Vaughn Holly getting that money, baby. Respect.
Man, rough times. But at least Ben Shapiro, right, who's got, I think, close to 7 million subscribers, he must be doing decently at least. Now we know Ben obviously buys YouTube videos sometimes on his channel, but ever since Bibi Netanyahu went missing, I've been noticing Ben's channel looks a little bit suspiciously different. It's almost like the money printer dried up for buying views. Let's take a look again. 7 million YouTube subscribers. Holy shit, he must be crushing. Ooh, 31,000, 63,000, 92,000, and then you have the one he bought views on.
Yo, Ben Shapiro lost a lot of people when he started shilling a little bit too hard for Israel. When he started sitting there, well, it was like really the whole little Palatine, like October 7th. During October 7th, you know, first Ben Shapiro was seeing a huge spike, but as Israel got more and more aggressive with their treatment of the Palestinians and the reckless bombing of Gaza, and the people who start seeing Ben Shapiro shill even harder for that, even downright try to like dehumanize the Palestinians, that's why everybody was like, yeah, hold on now, dog. I mean, I get October 7th was bad, but don't mean we just recklessly kill civilians and try to make excuses for it. And I think that's what turned a lot of people off to these, pro-Israel guys. Is like the fact that they were sitting there in our face just telling us, oh, no, it's okay that you're seeing women and children getting recklessly bombed. F them. They're all Hamas, right? Right. Okay, then. Yeah, they lost a lot of people with that. It was very distasteful to see it.
Here, 103, 29,000 4 days ago, 33,000 4 days ago with 7 million subscribers. Wow. Talk about a fall from grace for old Officer Tatum and Ben Shapiro. Yeah, so it turns out as you lash out and talk shit about a grizzled war hero combat veteran like Joe Kent, nobody gives a fuck what you idiots have to say anymore. And the numbers prove it. And even at the congressional level, they're going to try pushing this garbage that nobody believes.
That proposition at the end is clearly wrong. I'm on the Gang of Eight. I got all the briefings. We all understood there was clearly an imminent threat, that Iran was very close to the enrichment of nuclear capability, and they were building.
Well, I thought we destroyed all that in June. I didn't realize they were really close again. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, sounds like you guys had great intel. Yes, Joe's wrong. And even Tulsi Gabbard, who literally said the same thing 6 months ago and was told to shut her fucking mouth by Donald Trump, she's obviously switched sides on that. Yep. But no, nobody with an above room temperature IQ.
Tulsi was very disappointing. I was expecting her to really stand up, and it kind of killed me during her hearing because I'm just like, lady, you're saying the complete opposite of what you said about, 6 to 8 months ago. And now you were the same person that was talking about, Trump, you need to get into the JCPOA, and now you're silent, and now you're just going along with this conflict when you were against this. Like, really? Like, well, true colors have been shown.
Believes that Iran was an imminent threat. Now, of course, they're a threat to us, just like China and Russia and North Korea and whatever adversaries that we have out there. But imminent threat, there's no evidence to that whatsoever. Nobody actually believes that. Everybody knows. And Donald Trump admitted himself with his frontal lobe dementia the other day, 3 days ago, I believe, came out and said that specifically the reason why he started the war was because Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff told him to. But let me make this clear. If you support this war, support the people attacking Joe Kent, you're not a patriot. Okay, you're not. Real patriots stand up and say, hey, what our government is doing right now is corrupt, is unjust. The fact that we keep sending hundreds of millions of dollars to foreign countries and spending hundreds of millions of dollars on Middle East wars for no fucking reason, while the economy tanks into oblivion and nobody can afford food or fucking housing. Yes, actually standing up and using your platform to protest against that is called actual patriotism.
Yeah.
Go live in the foreign.
And that's the facts right there. And that's what I've been standing on. I said, I wouldn't be much of a patriot, or I just sat by and try to give you guys a sweet little lullaby about how everything's going to be all right. When, one, we don't know what the hell's going on with this war. We don't know the main goals of it. And we don't even know if we got an off ramp. And this is hurting economic success. This is going to hurt the jobs being added to the market. So, yeah, I agree with them. It's not really patriotic if you're here supporting a war that's hurting the American people while we have all of these problems going on in America. Trump just asked for $200 billion more for this war. And I'm just like, bro, are you serious? They could have been put towards infrastructures. I mean, the rural hospitals that need funding, that were having so much trouble funding, that could have went towards that. I mean, come on now. Multiple things we could have used that $200 billion before, besides more foreign wars. And that's one of the reasons why I voted for Trump, because that's what, he campaigned on us getting. And I'm going to speak out if we're not getting it. I'm not just going to go along to get along, even if that does cost me my engagement or even subscribers. I don't care. I'm standing on principle here.
Fucking country, go get the fuck out of here, because here we're America first and America only, and we are sick and fucking tired of this bullshit. So that's my public service announcement about this. If you don't like it, cry about it in the comments. It's gonna do it for this one. Catch y'all in the next video.
All right, shout out to bro. All right, let's get to a nice little military breakdown, because now there was reportedly, supposedly, now here it is. Look here. Now, this footage was pretty much an Iranian missile shooting down a jet, right? Now, we was talking about this later on. Well, actually yesterday, me, Monty, and Gaming. And, Gaming was giving his analysis, because my man was in the Navy, and Monty was giving his analysis as well, because, well, I guess he knows a little bit of stuff, a decent amount of what goes on, in the air. Now, here's the problem. One, if they was able to shoot down one of our rockets, we got a huge fucking problem. But the way they're framing it, it seems like, one, they didn't actually shoot it down. It didn't crash. It got damaged and it made safe landing. The pilot's in stable condition. Thank God. So shout out to that. But the fact that they were able to shoot down one of our jets in their space